Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Suni and I am the maker behind ippeun here on YouTube, also available on Instagram and Ravelry with the same username. First of all, apologies if you can hear little background noises. There are people, but I'm trying to film because I don't know when else I can, and I wanted to have something up this week, so we'll make do, and hopefully you can't hear it, or if you can, it's not too distracting. But we're going to jump into it. It's been a little bit, I think, since I last uploaded. But I don't know, I feel like I wanted to wait until I had more progress done. But then I've actually gotten a lot of stuff finished, and also started a lot of different projects, so might as well just get it done now, and then maybe next one will be in 2 weeks or so. We'll see without the gift knits. But same format as always, what I'm wearing, then what I recently finished, then what I'm working on, and then stuff I have recently bought or plan to work on. So what I'm wearing, ta-da! It's the Step by Step sweater by Florence Miller. I mentioned this if you've been around, like, I don't know, a handful of times. It's just a really simple, free pattern, really simple raglan top-down sweater, and it's got 7 sizes, labeled A through G, and it provides a finished bust measurement from 90 centimeters to 150 centimeters. And I believe this was in the 3rd size, size C. And I made it with a long avec on a heavy merino in the Royal colorway. And this was pretty fast. I was trying to get this done because it was kind of like on a time frame, so I did finish it within a week. I think normally otherwise it would have taken me maybe 1.5 to 2 weeks, but definitely really easy. It's a pretty, simple thing to make too. And if you prefer not having written patterns, or if you just you're not comfortable with them or you're not familiar with them, Florence, the designer, made I think it's 100 minutes YouTube video that takes you through and kind of holds your hand, walks you through the process of how to start knitting, and then at the end have the finished sweater, which is really nice. So for recently finished, I have 2.5, you'll see. So first thing, I'll start with the small, is, I don't know what to call it. You probably recognize the design, if you've been on Instagram and you get knitting posts or anything like that, because it's a bit of a hot trend these days, but it's not quite a Sophie scarf, and it's not quite a Sophie shawl. If you're familiar with the design, you'll know that the Sophie scarf is pretty small, kind of ascot-ish, and this is definitely bigger than that, but the shawl is also much bigger than this. So it's somewhere in between the two, because the story is that I got one skein of a really soft cotton nylon yarn, I believe. I think I mentioned it last episode, at a yarn store I was visiting, and it was really soft, and I really wanted to make something that I felt would make the best use of it being soft, so something maybe around my neck. And I obviously got swept up in the Sophie shawl scarf hype, and I wanted to make one, but I didn't like the size of the scarf. I wanted it something a bit bigger. It didn't seem practical for me, with where I live and just how I like to wear things. So I kind of adjusted it by doing, I think it was every 6th row I did increases until I weighed how much yarn I had, and I had about half, or I had exactly half, sorry. And then from then on I straight away did decreases every 6th. I somehow still ended up with yarn left over, which I don't get how that happened if I kept measuring it and I kept weighing it. And I double checked my math to make sure it was exactly half. I used a calculator too because I was second guessing everything, and it should have been right, but I still had this much left over, which might not seem like a lot, but I wound it pretty tightly by hand, so it's I think 4 or 5 grams. So I really don't know how I messed up that badly, and I ended up with this much left over if I was constantly checking. But it's okay. I'll just have this scrap yarn and I'll add it into some project eventually when I'll need to. But it is quite nice. I will say that another complaint that I do have, because obviously this is a really simple pattern, it's just garter stitch and with a kind of built-in I-cord for the edges. It's really simple, really easy, but because it is garter stitch, which on one hand is nice because it kind of hides the increase and decrease stitches a little bit more, I feel like it takes away the softness of the yarn, or it hides it a little bit, because the texture of the garter stitch makes it so you can't feel how smooth the yarn is, which then doesn't make it feel as soft. So I'm not sure. I mean, I've worn this already a couple times and it's really quite nice. And I haven't actually spilled anything or gotten any stains on it yet, which is good and bodes well for the future, but I'm still pretty like bummed out about how you can't feel how soft it is. And also it's disappointing that I had yarn left over because my goal was to use up all of it. But since I already cut the yarn, it's kind of like, what am I going to do? So I'll just keep it for now and probably just keep making good use out of it as it gets colder. It's really nice, although because it is such like a bright white. I forgot to mention, yeah, sorry, this is Juniper Moon Farms in White Lion, the colorway. Yeah, it is just a completely just pure bright white. So because of that, it can make wearing it with certain like outfits or clothes like a little bit hard because it is so like eye-catching and bright. But I mean, I like it. It's nice. It's cute. And I like the colorway name, which that's always it always encourages me a lot to buy something if I really like the name of it. And now, second finished object, I can't really show you because it's a test knit and that is against the rules. But I am allowed to show like sneak peeks, so I'll do a little. There you go. Okay. So you can probably see the stitch pattern, and if you go to the designer's Instagram Ravelry, you can see what it looks like. But so that is my finished Gemini jumper. It is a design by Annie, who is This Bird Knits with periods in between on Instagram, and I think also on Ravelry it's the same way. So I knit the size 2. There are 12 sizes, 1 through 12, and it provides a finished bust measurement of 104 centimeters or 41 inches up to 179 centimeters or 70.25 inches. And she does recommend you give 5 to 10 centimeters of positive ease. So I knit mine with, I believe, the same yarn that she used in her sample, which is Wool of the Andes 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and the colors I did was hyacinth and white. So hyacinth being the kind of like cobalt blue, and then white being white. I will say, I think I mentioned in the last episode as well, that the yarn hyacinth looked more like indigo, like it was definitely like a blue purple in the skein, but then when I worked it up, and especially in contrast to the white, it just looked purely blue, which I thought was interesting. And I think it did fit with what I initially wanted the kind of color combination to be, so very nice. I did have, I think, 1.5 skeins of the hyacinth left over, and one, or a little bit less than one, of the white. I'm not too sure about the math, and I'm not sure what to do with them, but I did see someone make like a headband, kind of like a checkered alternating colors with, I think, a black and a white. But so it was like a, I don't know if it counts as a headband actually, but it was thick, so like it went over the ear and like whatever, had a little strap to tie under the chin. I thought that was really cute, and I figured maybe I could like crochet a little with the scraps, something like that, and then also it'll keep my ears warm, which is nice because my ears get cold very easily, especially if there's wind. It's like super cold, so I figured that could be nice to have. But that, even though it is a small and pretty scrappy project, and I don't imagine it will take me too long, I'm trying to focus completely on getting all my gift knits done because time is running out, and yeah, I need to keep making progress. And then another thing that I finished is, I didn't weave in the ends, but it is technically done, so I'm going to count it. My Santa Baby Shrug. I made another version of this, which I think I shared a few episodes ago. I was in the test group for it, and it is a made to measure pattern, which is by Anne, who is I Will Crochet on Instagram. And the other version I made with I think it's like sport fingering weight yarn, Brighton Beach. This is made with Lily Sugar and Cream, which is a, I believe, worsted yarn. I think worsted weight cotton yarn, and it's just in black. I bought it in cone form, and I used just over one cone, a little bit more. I think like half of one sleeve I did with this cone, and then the rest of it was made entirely with a single cone. So I have all this left over. I do have some tentative plans for it, but I keep changing my mind about it, so I don't know, we'll see. Regardless, I made this one, so because it's made to measure, I think you can kind of customize it based off how you want it to fit on you. So I made, compared to the first version I made, it's a little bit, I think, more fitted width-wise, the torso, and then the sleeves are a little bit wider, which wasn't entirely intentional, the sleeves. It just ended up that way because I think this yarn is a little bit more stiff, and because it is thicker, I wanted to make sure that there was enough like ability to move my arms when I was wearing it. So I wanted the armholes a little bit bigger, and because of that, it comes straight out of there, and it ended up just being wide. Yeah, and I did customize a little bit just in the fact that I forgot to that there are more rows in the pattern, more pattern rows written than I remembered there being. So the sleeves are a little bit longer than I initially planned, and I think excluded one row because I don't know, it was very long and I didn't want it to be longer. But beyond that, very fun, very easy. The torso knits up really fast, or crochets up really fast. You start with the torso, it's like front and back panel, and then the sleeves, which I really liked, and it helps that you start with that because that gets done pretty quickly, so you kind of have like the motivation to power through the sleeves, even though they're like decent amount of work to do. But it's fine. I was working on this very quickly because I wanted to have it done for this episode, and also I wanted to wear it for a little like event thingy. So yes, that is that. And then onto my half finished object. I think I miscounted earlier. It's 3.5 finished objects. So finished is, where are they? Oh, here. And I haven't woven in the ends for this too. I'm going to do that all at the end. I keep putting those off, but it's fine. Here is one. Here is the other. And then here is the third, which is a work in progress. So these are a bunch of hand towels. It is called the Tin Ceiling Hand Towel, and it's designed by Sandy Rosner for Pearl Soho. Sorry. And there are two different sizes, so a washcloth and then a hand towel. The washcloth is a smaller square size, and the hand towel is just a little bit bigger, and it's a rectangle. Both of them, I believe, do have this little I-cord strap though, and it's a repeat pattern, so check it out if you're interested. And I just really love the like geometric kind of design. It just looks, oh, look at it, it's so pretty, and it shows up really well in all the different colors, which I think is really nice. So I'm knitting these up in, what is it, Lion Brand 24/7 cotton, and so this shade is just called Red, this one is Ecru, and then this one is Jade, and I'm going to be knitting up two more. This one in Pink Lemonade, and this one is, what's it, Navy. So there's a pretty wide range of colors because, oh, you can't see the red. These are going to be gifts, and I kind of wanted it to be like a, everyone just pick your favorite one and then whatever, because I don't know what the favorite colors are. And I finished two of them, and this one is in progress. Each one gives a little bit left over, so not a huge amount, but not a small insignificant amount either, especially this one for some reason. But so I'm hoping maybe I can make like a coasters with the leftover, so maybe like, I'm not sure what coaster design I want to do, if I want to do like a flower, a star, heart, something, I don't know. And I could like mix and match the colors. I'm not sure. I don't think I can make 2 coasters. I don't know if I have enough left over for that, but definitely at least one I think should be doable. And I'll just figure out the design for that later. But so it'll be kind of like a set, so everyone can grab one towel and then one coaster. And you might get something else on the side, but nothing that I'll hand make. I think that's a little much. But yeah, so it's technically, some of them are finished, but I'm also still trying to complete the set. So I don't know if it counts as a completely finished object, which is why it's the half. If my older sister's watching, look away. They'll look at the timestamp. I'll say when you can come back. If you're watching this, I don't know if you do. So this is something I'm working on for my sister's birthday. Her birthday is right after Christmas, so I kind of need to get it done. I had started it a while ago and it had been on hold. Here it is. I actually can't remember if I've shown this before. I think I have. And I'm not sure how much progress it was at when I last showed it. But if you can tell, this is another step-by-step sweater. Florence Miller, same design. And this one is in a size up from the one I'm made and I'm wearing. So this one is the 4th size D. And I am making it with a recycled thrifted yarn I got from this sweater that was pretty, but it was pilling. So I felt justified in getting it even though it was like extra large. And it's not too bad from afar, but I think I would like to try and gently shave it because even reading it up, there's some parts that are like fuzzing up and I think a little clearly. I don't know if it actually shows up well. Yeah, you can see it. How the texture is not the most appealing at some parts. So I am about 24 centimeters under the arm. And I'm hoping for maybe 35-ish, somewhere around there before I start the ribbing, and then maybe 4 or 5 centimeters for ribbing. We'll see. And then I definitely have plenty of yarn, which is nice because it was such a large sweater. And it is a cotton linen blend. I think it's 55-45 cotton linen, but it's quite nice and I'm excited to see what turns out and I hope she likes it. I think I made her a sweater last year for her birthday as well, but it was back when I was still using acrylic yarn and I didn't have any circular needles, so everything was knit flat, and the pattern I used didn't have shaping for the neck or any short rows to make the front lower, the back higher, so it was just it was a little dissatisfying that I wasn't able to make something that I was really proud of to give to her. So hopefully this will turn out well and she'll like it and everything. But at the very least, I know that it's a better pattern and a better yarn than what I gave her, and this should be machine washable, I think, so that will be convenient too. And then acquisitions. Now, my mom, you have to look away, you're not allowed to see. I bought some yarn from Joann's. This is not fun yarn, sorry, but it is just keeping you up to date with future plans. Bernat blanket extra in white and black because she likes Snoopy, so I'm going to crochet her a Snoopy amigurumi. Temtem_ami posted a free Snoopy pattern, which is for a lot smaller scale. And I am not super familiar with amigurumi, but I kind of figure in my head that if you just up the yarn size but you up the hook size, it'll end up the same proportionately. I don't really see why I wouldn't. But again, I actually have very limited crochet knowledge, I think, compared to knitting, so fingers crossed it'll turn out well. I think it should still resemble him at the very least, but you never know. But that's what I bought these for, and because it is a different yarn weight, very different from the original, I'm not sure how much I need, but I figured one ball, one skein of these should be fine. So final acquisition, I really like Winnie the Pooh. You can see him there. It's I don't know, he's just really cute and fond childhood memories and all that. And Goosey Fibers had a yarn advent called Return to Pooh Corner. Goosey Fibers also just has a whole colorway collection based off of Winnie the Pooh and different characters and places and themes within it, which is really cute, and I have been eyeing it for a while. And then they announced the whole Return to Pooh Corner, which is the name of the advent. And I actually only found out about it or first saw it after, I think, it first went on sale, so there was like none in stock. But lo and behold, at the end of November, I think they had 3 left. They were like, these are the last 3, and one of each different base. I think there was like a sock base, something else, and then I had a non-superwash fingering. By the time I checked, when I saw, because I had like their Instagram, on their Instagram, their story and post notifications on, so I checked as soon as I woke up. That's the first thing I saw. And this was also, actually that was the second thing I saw. The first thing I saw was that I hadn't been selected for a testnet, which kind of like, I expected it, but still, if you've been in such a situation, you know how it feels. But so when I checked the link that they had posted, saying that these were the last, no more after this, they were actually completely out. There was only the non-superwash fingering left, which is good because that's actually what I prefer. Although I could have gone for the socks, but generally I like non-superwash yarn. Sorry, spoilers. So I bought it, and it came. I think maybe the 6th of December. I think it was the 5th. So obviously after Advent would typically start. I was kind of thinking. I wasn't thinking. My sister suggested this, and I rolled with it. Instead of doing it like leading up to the 25th, Christmas, I will do it leading up to New Year's. So I think technically that means it would start at the 8th. So instead of December 1st, it's December 8th is my starting date. Although when I did get it, I did just kind of like open the first game just because I really wanted to see it. And I'm going to show it. So if you don't want to see, look away. But this is True Friendship. And what I was also really excited about was the little drawings. And it's really cute that it's True Friendship and it's got Poon Piglet. But so this is a really pretty like mauve, dusty rose, sort of like muted pink. It's just really pretty. And it is nice and squishy. And so yes, this is day 1. I think it is the 8th. Yeah. Today is the 8th, so I'm not allowed to open another one until tomorrow. I actually gave my sister the box because I didn't want to like poke holes. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but if I wanted to take out the skein for each day, I'd have to like open the box. It's like a little perforated edge. You'd have to rip it open and then pull the skein out from that hole. I didn't want to do that. I don't like doing those kind of things. It's a whatever, one of the weird quirks. So I gave her the little box container and asked her to just give me each day, so I can be surprised. So tomorrow we'll see. But super happy with this. Although it was a little sad that they punctured Piglet, but it's okay. It's very cute, and I'm excited to see the rest of the colors. And then upcoming projects for that advent calendar, I was thinking of I'm going to try my hardest to pronounce this correctly. Anisidora? And it's a shawl, and it's by Lindsay Fowler. I really liked it. I'm kind of on a shawl kick lately, although I haven't actually made anything, unless you count the Sophie scawl sharf. I didn't even intend to pronounce it correctly or incorrectly, but yeah, that's what I kind of like named it. The in-between of a Sophie scarf and shawl that I made. Both scawl and sharf sounds so disgusting, but it's kind of fun. I don't know. But regardless, I've been really into shawls, and I kind of want to make one. I've been like salivating over, I think, Gregoria Fibers shawl. I forget what it's called. Let me check. The Barbara shawl by Gregoria Fibers. It's so pretty, and the texture just looks beautiful. It's like, that'd be perfect for winter. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that. Whatever, regardless. So I wanted to make that shawl by Lindsay Fowler. There's a bunch of different versions, which kind of create different sizes depending on how much yarn you have. But I really like the version that was the sample version, the one in all the photos, which is the, I think, biggest, and it's called the combo, or the combo size, because it's for a 12 to 24 set of minis plus 100 grams of fingering, and you kind of like, I think half of it is done with just the fingering set, and then, or the mini fingering set, and then the other half is done with a combination of the minis with the 100 gram I think. Don't quote me on it. But so I was thinking about making that with the advent yarn, and while I was tempted to buy the complementary skein that Goosey Fibers has for the advent, it's called Pooh's Corner, which is very cute. It's like a sort of very muted yellow, orange, tan, beige tonal sort of. I don't know, but it's really pretty. But I'm trying to not buy any more yarn, or just buy anything, let alone more yarn, because first of all, I bought a lot this year. Second of all, I just bought a lot. I mean, the advent calendar. If you've bought an advent calendar for yarn, you know how expensive it can get. And then third, I don't know. But either way, I'm trying to not buy more yarn. So I wanted to get something from the stash. I'm not sure what I would use, because I'm trying to base it off of what the complementary skein colors are. Do I want to do like a... And also, my fingering stash is pretty scarce, honestly. Especially for like a one skein of something. I do have some actually from Fully Spun, but those are like very bold, bright colors, and I don't know if that would really go well with this. So I was thinking maybe like the sock yarn, but that's like extra thin, and I don't know. It's, I think, noticeably a thinner weight than this one is. So I don't know if they pair well together. But yeah, I'll just keep looking at it, and I have, I guess, until tomorrow to decide, unless I want to just wait casting on, but I kind of want to start. I don't want to be too behind. I would like to have it for New Year's, but again, we'll see. Focuses gift knits. And then final upcoming project. And this is also something that I'm not really going to start anytime soon, but I'm kind of like manifesting it because I really want it just to have. It is the Dear Duomo by Soon-Hee Hong. There are 9 sizes for a finished bust of 90 centimeters or 35.5 inches up to 170 centimeters or 67 inches. And I was thinking maybe I knit either size 2 or 3. Size 2 is like finished bust of 100, and then size 3 is 110. And so according to like I guess what I normally go for an oversized fit, I typically go for a size 2, I think. But there's this one sweater that I have that's like really oversized, and I measured it, and it's 110 centimeters, the bust. And I really like how that fits, but then I'm kind of thinking, is that impractical? Like, should I have something that's like a little bit oversized so then I can wear it with more things and like I can layer over it more easily? Maybe I should. I think actually, I'll probably do size 2. But anyways, the idea that I was going to do for that was I'd be using this in Stash Knox yarn, which is the Flora sock base in the Glory in the Dream colorway. And I've mentioned this before because I bought it in Aro Knits and Pearls, her D-stash. It was like a few months ago, actually, I think. I've been holding on to this, and I mentioned this before as I wanted to make like a cardigan. I was thinking a long sleeve version of the ballerina wrap top with this, which honestly I still kind of want to do, but then I think I came to a realization recently that I need more like basic knits. I've been making a lot of like really cool color work or like interesting lace detail stuff, and it's nice, but I think just like a plain sweater, I think they're a little bit more practical and more useful to have, especially because I think this is the only hand knit like basic sweater that I have. So I think it'd be nice to have more, and it'd be really cool to have some in like a hand dyed yarn, because that'd be the first time I would make a hand dyed garment, not including I guess the advent yarn. But I thought it'd be really pretty also to see like kind of like the variation of the color throughout. But the pattern is originally written for, I believe, DK weight, which is fingering held with a lace mohair, and this is fingering. It is a little fuzzy, so in terms of like needing mohair in that regard, it should be fine. But then getting gauged, I haven't swatched for it yet because, you know, I'm holding off on doing gifts first. I'm not sure if I can get gauge, and I don't want to buy more yarn, especially mohair, because it can be quite pricey, and I haven't really found a reasonably priced mohair, or like a mohair that I'm comfortable paying the price for, that I really am satisfied with, especially just in terms of how soft it feels. I mentioned last episode that the I'm pretty sure I pronounced it wrong. I don't know how to pronounce it though. The G is pronounced differently. The Izukir, I only, you know what I mean. I really like how that yarn feels, but it is on the pricier side. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. And also, I really don't want to hide this like pretty colors of how it's like pink and purple and like mauve and I don't know, just really pretty. I don't want to obscure it with a mohair, but I don't really know what to do if I don't get gauge. Maybe also if I don't get gauge and I'm really far off, then I'll knit the ballerina wrap top. But if I can get gauge, or at least close to it, I'll go for the Duomo. But then again, actually, I have some points that I can redeem at my local yarn store, and they do have actually like multiple brands of mohair. So maybe I'll look into, I don't know, regardless. That's all for upcoming projects that I can think of. There's a few of the stuff that I've started that are still on the needles, but they're like on hold for one reason or another. There are also some other upcoming gifts, but I'm not gonna focus on that because I think the only thing is mainly something, if I need more gifts to give to my mom, then I have something else to give, and like I have something else in mind that I can give or make and give. And then also for my dad, whose birthday is late January, so I have some time. But yes, I think that is all. I feel like I talk a lot and I ramble a lot, but the length of the video, it's not as long as it used to be. So I'm wondering if like something's going on. Maybe I'm talking too fast. I genuinely cannot tell. Oh, also really quick mention, I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. This is very like in my head. I get ahead of myself when it comes to planning gift knits, but someone I know is expecting a baby, I think springtime, but there's going to be a baby shower in middle of January. I don't know if I should make something. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be too much, and I also don't know if I'd have the time, and also I need to buy more yarn for it because I want to make sure that it's like baby safe and like machine washable and all that. But I feel like it would be nice to do and to give. I guess I just need to figure out, you know, does it work out time-wise? Can I actually do it? Although, since I am, like, unemployed right now, technically, you know, that is fine, but I also should be giving myself breaks, physically, just because, like, my hands and my wrists will get super achy and tired, and I try to be better about stretching, but I'm not that good. So this is a lot of information that is not at all relevant, or you didn't need to know, but I'm sharing it anyways. I hope it's not too big of a deal, or whatever. But yes, thank you for joining me today. I think I am talking really fast. I can feel myself sometimes talking faster and faster. So I'll try to keep slowing down, for the future. Too late for this one. But yes, I hope you all are doing well. Thank you again for coming, sticking around. If you've been here before, thank you again for coming back. And I will see you in a few weeks from now, probably, hopefully with a lot more gift stuff done. But yes, take care of yourselves. I hope you're doing well, and I'll be trying to do well as well. Bye bye.